What's going on, guys? Today we are checking out the Anker Soundcore Space NC active noise canceling Bluetooth headphones. Yeah, it's a lot to say, but before we jump into any of the details on these guys, I just want to say that if this is your first time to the channel, welcome to Plug and Play. My name is JDubb, and the goal of this channel is to help you guys make a better tech buying decision. Now, if that sounds like something you're interested in, please consider subscribing to the channel, hit that bell notification so you don't miss any other videos. Now, with that out of the way, let's unbox these guys and see what we get. All right, guys, so here we have the Anker Soundcore Space NC wireless headphones with active noise cancellation and intuitive touch controls. We got high-res audio, we got Bluetooth 5.0, and we have 50 hours of battery life, which I'll talk about here in just a moment. Flipping it over onto the back, we've got active noise cancellation, touch controls, exceptional sound with 40mm drivers, okay? Now we get into the real deal business here. So we have 50 hours of battery life, and how that works out is in wireless noise cancellation mode. So using Bluetooth connected to your mobile device with active noise cancellation turned on, you're looking at 20 hours of battery life. Now I tested this on a flight, train, and bus ride for a business trip that I took recently, and I got 22 hours of total battery life listening at about 70% volume. So I got every single drop of 22 hours and then some. So this is great. That's an absolutely legitimate number. The nice thing is they've done the work for us here with a wired connection. Now, if you know you're gonna not be able to charge these guys for a while, you don't want to have to worry about that. You know, you got your case here, and you bring the 3.5mm audio jack, you plug that guy in, turn noise cancellation on, and because you're not using Bluetooth, you're looking at 50 hours of total battery life, which is amazing. That is so much battery life. It's insane. So keep that in mind, guys. If you really want to get your battery's worth, it's the wired cable with the active noise cancellation is 50 hours of playtime. So that's huge. So that's that there. Flipping this guy over, opening the case, we got some really nice packaging here, very straightforward packaging. We do have a quick start guide on how to get these guys paired. It's got a nice little breakdown of the controls. I would even actually probably consider throwing this in your case just when you first get it to kind of keep, you know, everything easy for you to reference if you need it to learn how to use any of the controls or any of the features there, but that comes with that there. So packaging away, let's take a look at what we've got here. Now, they have done very nice. So you right off the bat, you get a really nice hard shell case. It's kind of a soft hard shell, so it's not the hardest of them all, but definitely protective. It can feel the definite protection here. You've got your little lanyard over here on this guy. You got your Soundcore branding on the front, just like that, and it's not leather. It's definitely a neat texture, kind of a, you know, almost like a denim texture black there, which is nice. Unscrew this guy like this, or unzip this guy, I should say, like that. Inside we got our manual, so we got the manual there, and over in this little pocket here we end up with we got 3.5mm headphone jack right here with an inline control, which is great. So this is actually a really nice little cable, and then you've got your 3.5mm actually, no, I mean, you get your micro USB charging cables. These are charged via micro USB, so keep that in mind there. Outside of that, let's pull the headphones out real quick. Look at this nice molded case. So these guys are very well protected. They're not moving around inside the case. Some headphones come with a case that's just an empty space and you kind of chuck them in there. This molded is really nice. It really makes sure that they're secure. Doesn't allow any compression on the ear cups, which is awesome. And then you got a little diagram tag here that shows you how to put them back in there, because they kind of go in a weird little you know, shell shape way there. But that's what you get as far as packaging wise and everything. This is everything that you should get in the package. So that's very nice. So right away, this hard shell case is definitely adding a lot of value to the overall package here. So keep that in mind as we move forward. Now, let's take a closer look at the headphones themselves. Now, these are an over-the-ear headphone. You can see that they've got the Soundcore branding on both ear cups here. Okay, this is the 4-way directional pad, so that is on your right ear cup. So on your right earbud, or ear cup, I should say, you have your 4-way directional. So volume up, volume down by swiping up, swiping down, swiping left and right is going to give you that skip track and reverse track. Double tap for play and pause, which is great. On the bottom of the right ear cup, let's get this guy over here and get it up nice and close so you guys can see it. You've got your micro USB charging port here and your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack there. You get your microphones here. You get 2 of them on this one in particular. One is for the microphone to make phone calls, which I'll test for you guys, and I'll show you that in a moment. And then you've got your active noise cancellation microphones as well. That is it. And then, on the bottom of the right, the right one, you have your power on and power off and your answer call button as well. So that is all encapsulated there. In between these 2 buttons, you're going to see that little gap right there. That is actually an LED indicator to indicate power, Bluetooth connection, things like that. On the left ear cup, this is where you have your active noise cancellation button, or switch, I should say. It's basically just on or off to turn it on or off. Very, very straightforward. On top of that, you've got a nice kind of a soft protein foam, headband up here like that with a nice faux leather. It feels very, very nice. The leather on these guys, I will say, is just really, really nice. It's a very nice faux leather. They didn't go cheap on that at all. And it's also on the Soundcore tips here on the outsides, which is great. The ear cups themselves are a very, very comfortable protein foam covered with a faux leather. I had no ear fatigue with these whatsoever. Very, very comfortable for long listening sessions. I had a great experience with that overall. You got your left and right branding on the inside, so you can make sure you got the right ones on. And then what you're gonna find is as far as range of motion goes, you do get a 90-degree swivel one direction, okay? But you don't get much the other way. You do get a small bit the other direction, but not a full 90 degree. And then you're gonna notice that you only get a small amount of flex on the vertical axis here. That's about all you get. So it's not a ton as far as, mobility, and we'll talk about that in the full review portion of the video. But that's basically it. When you extend these guys out, you're gonna hear they have a ratchet. So there's your ratcheting. They're very, very solid. They stay in place the way that you expect them to, and they are metal reinforced on these, so they're not going to wear out. Extension wise, if you've got a big dome, you stretch these guys out fully, these guys can really, you got to have a watermelon head. So do not worry about these not fitting. You don't have a head this big. Well, maybe you do. I hope you don't. If you do, let me know down in the comment section below and send me a picture next to a ruler. That's a big head. You can really fit these guys on a seriously massive dome. So that's what you get in the packaging. That's what they look like. That's what they're made of. Questions, comments, hit me down in the comment section below. But now let's switch over. Let's talk about some specs and overall my experiences with the Anker Soundcore Space NC active noise canceling headphones. Now, as you guys just saw from the unboxing, these are an amazing pair of headphones, right? They come with everything that you need in the packaging, the hard shell case, everything is pretty top notch. Construction-wise, they're absolutely fantastic. They're super comfortable, the materials are great, and they look very, very nice. But now let's talk about some of the really serious stuff, and let's kick it off with how do they actually sound? Starting off at the bottom of the audio range, the bass on these is really, really solid. So much so, in fact, that in a couple of the tracks that I tested on, the ear cups were actually vibrating on my face, and it was actually ticklish. It was an interesting sensation. I haven't had a pair of headphones outside of some of the audiophile headphones that I use actually able to do that. So that was a very good plus. So the bass is solid. Now, if you're a bass head, these probably aren't going to be the ones you're looking for. It's not that deep, just brain shaking, bass notes. But overall, it's got the bass that you need if you're a music enthusiast. If you just like listening to music, you want good quality sound, the bass on here is plenty. Okay, moving up the range into the mids, I felt the mids were pretty solid. Everything was well represented. I could hear everything really well. The sound stage was very nice. It was a very pleasant experience on the mid range. The only thing that I had a small problem with was the very, very high frequencies in music. Some of the tracks that I test have a very, very high snappy points, the really sizzling highs, and I wasn't getting those with these. And I think partially what that is that it's the bass kind of bringing them down and kind of making the entire sound signature a little bit warmer. Overall, did that make me think that these aren't a good pair of headphones? Absolutely not. In fact, I was very impressed. Again, at the $100 price point, this is a solid sounding pair of headphones. Now, last but not least, before we move past audio entirely, I do want to play really quickly a microphone sound sample that I took for you, just so you guys can get an idea of what these will sound like if you're using them to make phone calls, conference calls, things like that. It's an important feature. So here's a sound clip. You be the judge.
All right, guys, so here we have an audio test of the microphones that are built into the Soundcore Space NC active noise canceling headphones. So the goal here obviously is just to give you a sample of what it sounds like when you're using these for your phone calls, conference calls, things like that. So there you go. These are, again, is the audio test for the Anchor Soundcore Space NC.
So now let's talk about active noise cancellation, right? That's the other major feature that we're looking at. In the $99 price point, it's sometimes hard to expect much from active noise cancellation. That's usually a pretty premium feature. We're starting to see that enter into the lower tier headphones, which is great. And overall, what I was expecting to get, I got 100%. The active noise cancellation was great. And now you're probably gonna ask, well, did you test them? How did you test them? Where did you test them? I tested them on the bus, on a train, and on an airplane. I'm not even kidding. I tested in all three. I got to take these on a business trip that I was on more recently, and I was able to test battery life, which was great. And I was able to get full, I got every single bit of battery life that they claim, which is absolutely fantastic. So that was great. I tested those. I didn't charge them for the entire trip, and I never ran out of battery once, which is absolutely fantastic. But on top of that, just the big thing I want to mention though is that the active noise cancellation was great. I felt like, especially on the airplane, that hum that you get kind of on the airplanes, almost entirely removed. It was still slightly present. I mean, no active noise cancellation up to this point so far that I've experienced is perfect, but this was really, really good. So again, at that $100 price point, these guys are definitely hitting the mark. Now, the next thing I want to cover, because this is another feature that I was very, very pleasantly, and I was actually surprised by this, but it was the touch controls on the ear cups themselves. You're gonna see on this one here, you got the Soundcore branding here, and you've got the four arrows here, which indicate 4 different directions, right? You got volume up, volume down, skip tracks, things like that. Double tap to play, pause, that kind of thing. I was so impressed with how easy it was to pick up on the controls and how responsive they were. Changing tracks back and forth, volume controls, playing and pausing worked really, really well. Anytime that I've experienced, touch so far on a pair of headphones, it's been okay. It's been kind of spotty. It's usually there's a long learning process to kind of figure out how to touch these properly to make them do what I want them to. These guys made it so stinking easy on these. Overall, and it's got kind of a faux leather touch to it. It doesn't feel plasticky. It doesn't feel weird. It just feels like a nice leather outside. So whatever they did here was very, very high quality. And I'm very happy to say that, again, coming in at that price point, this is a very, very nice feature and you will not be disappointed. So now I've listed all the things that I like, right? So far we're hitting on all the features that they put on the back of the package. Everything is checking out the way that you should expect it to. I'm very impressed by them overall, but is there anything that I don't like? And yes, there are 2 things in particular that I'm not a huge fan of. And one, I think, has to do with personal preference. And then the other one is an actual limitation. Now, the first thing I want to show you is the swivel on these headphones, right? You're going to notice that they do a 90-degree this way, okay? But they don't go 90 degrees the other direction. They kind of turn that way a little bit. I like full range of motion. That's my personal preference when it comes to headphones. Everyone's got different shapes of heads. Everyone likes to hold their headphones specific ways. When you put them around your neck, some people like them down, some people like them up, and you can't do that, right? You're kind of limited on that range of motion. And it's a design thing. I've seen headphones that go both ways that can do that. So that is probably one of the first negative things that I didn't really like. The second thing, and again, this is kind of personal preference and anatomy based, but it is the ear cups themselves. So when I put these on here, you're gonna see that they fit really nice, right? They do look good. The problem is that these are technically considered over-ear headphones. On me in particular, the bottoms of my earlobes are actually being pressed they're under the pad. My ears are not fully encapsulated in these headphones. The cups are just a tiny bit too small for me personally. Now, again, that could be an anatomy thing. That could be a design thing. But personally, I would love to have them maybe like, you know, a little bit more oblong, you know, just get that bottom down there just a little bit more to get that coverage, which then helps get that seal, which helps active noise cancellation work better, which helps, you know, just the natural foam ear cup, you know, noise cancellation work. And so I would say out of everything that I've tested with these guys, those were the two things that I think that I wasn't a huge fan of overall. But outside of that, that's pretty much the only complaints that I have. Oh, actually, there is one more. The last one is micro USB. I'm a USB-C guy. Everything, my phone's USB-C, my true wireless earbuds are USB-C, my computer's USB-C. You know, I'm kind of living that life. So, you know, next version of these guys, hopefully we'll see USB-C. You know, that would be absolutely fantastic. But outside of that, that's all you get. So as I've mentioned a couple times, these guys at the time of making this video come in at $99. And as usual, guys, the link is going to be down in the description below. Again, as usual, that is an Amazon affiliate link. So if you use that link to make a purchase, I do make a small commission. But as I always state, that is not the intent of this video. The goal is to show you guys an amazing product and tell you what I think about it. So what do I think about it? At the end of the day, do I think these, you know, the Anker Soundcore Space NC headphones, are these worth your $100? And my official word is absolutely. You know, when it comes down to it, these have a lot of features that you're gonna find only available in $100 and up, $150 and up pairs of headphones. Sound quality is fantastic. Battery life is stellar. Comfort is great. You know, minus the few things that I mentioned outside of that, they're not deal breakers in my opinion. Overall, these are some of the nicest headphones that I've used that have active noise cancellation. They've tested in the real world and they function. So yes, $100, I would buy these all day, every day. These are the ones that I would go to. If someone was saying, should I buy these for $100? Yes, absolutely yes. So, as usual, guys, hopefully this video is helpful for you. Hopefully this helps you guys make a better tech buying decision. Hopefully you get, you know, you were looking at these, you weren't looking at these. You know, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up down in the comment section below. I love having a conversation with you guys down there. But as usual, guys, that is it for me, and I will see you